So for the last decade, we have seen so much growth here at the zoo, probably more than we've seen in the other literally 100 years that the zoo has been here in Potawatomi Park. It's been amazing to think about what we're really calling the revitalization period. When we talk about the front entrance, the new habitats like the lions, the giraffes that came in, what else? The new Andean bear habitat and restaurant, the carousel, the front entrance. It's just been one thing after another, and it's just been remarkable. Our operations have grown like you would not believe. Our mission is growing when it comes to our education programs, our community outreach, our visitation. We're everything from a quality of life place. We provide a great place for people to go to with their children, but it retains talent within our community. We attract people to this region. When you think about moving to a new area, you're looking at the schools, you're looking at the parks, you're looking at the fun things to do in town, and there's a zoo. You know, I think we're being put on the map as a respected zoological organization. We're breeding endangered species. We're getting involved in conservation work. So we're known from other zoos across this country. And we know that if we can just keep going down this trajectory that we're doing, the sky's the limit. And we have so much more to come. So I am really excited about this next big project. It's actually going to be one of the first expansions in the zoo. It's going to be over 2 acres, and it's for big cat tracks dedicated to Amur leopards and tigers. It was important to us to get all of our big cats out of what we can kind of consider the archaic square metal cages. We know we give our cats great care, but that's just old school zoo. And if we're really truly going to be respected as a modern zoological organization that's really focused on conservation and education, our big cats have to have natural habitats. It's going to be a state-of-the-art facility that gives all natural environments to these animals, breeding space that we can breed both of these critically endangered species, lots of opportunity for play, picnics, concessions, new restrooms. It's going to be a mixed species habitat where the tigers actually walk over deer. We're going to have cranes, and it's going to be amazing.
New habitats, obviously they're going to be places that the animals interact in, they're places that the public interact with, and then of course me as a zookeeper, they're places where staff interact with. They're going to allow animals to display new behaviors maybe that they've never seen before. For example, like a tiger swimming in a pool, people might not know that they actually love water. And then there are places like our giraffe deck where then people can come and interact with the giraffe and they can come and build those bonds. And then as a zookeeper, it gives me brand new ways to be able to interact with the animals, to be able to work with them and enrich their lives, to make them as happy as possible.
So building new habitats is very, very important with the health and well-being of all of our animals. For one thing, it allows us to provide them the mental stimulation that they need, the space to explore, perform all their natural behaviors. But when we're designing these buildings, we can consider what we need for their care and for their medical care in particular, so that we can design spaces that have appropriate spaces for training, so that we can do as many things as we can voluntarily. It makes it easier for the staff, easier for the animals, and allows us to do our job a lot better.
I couldn't be more excited about this. This is going to be the next big step into the future of the zoo. So there's so much that goes into the care of the animals here that people don't even realize. And when we think about preventative medical care from the vet standpoint, or the diets that they're on, or just their general care each day, it all ties into the health of the animal.
So we're very fortunate here at Potawatomi Zoo that we do have a veterinary team of a vet and a technician who are on grounds majority of the days and accessible all days. That allows us to continue our strong preventative medicine program to make sure we're keeping our animals as healthy as possible, but it also allows us to have a timely response in case something does happen. Preventative care includes a lot more things than most people would think it does. So that includes our regular examinations, either just with the animal in hand or for larger animals who do have to anesthetize them. But that also includes, our vaccine protocols, blood work, checking fecals to make sure we don't have parasites, and just kind of the overall health of the animal. So it's a year-round thing. Every single animal is involved with it, and our keeper staff play a huge role in that, especially with their training programs.
So training for animals is not only for their own welfare to achieve desired behaviors, it's also going to allow us to have them up, moving, cognitive, using their brains. It's a really enriching and rewarding experience for the animals, not just to get them to do the things we want them to do, but to build bonds and trust with their trainers.
you think about a legit organization that's really putting a lot into their animal care, having a dedicated dietitian and a diet kitchen is extremely important.
So my name's Ava. I'm the full-time dietitian here at the zoo. I'm in charge of making sure all the diets for all the animals in the whole zoo are made every single day. So usually we'll prep the diets for the next day, the day before, so that they're all ready for the keepers in the morning when they come into work. And then my second job here is going to be to keep this kitchen clean. So making sure we're adhering to USDA and AZA standards, so keeping things clean just like a normal human kitchen. Another big part of my job is making sure all the feed that we make those diets with is stocked, making sure we have enough produce, grain, whole prey, meat, all sorts of things, fish, really anything that you could put in a diet. I have to make sure that's stocked here in the kitchen. And that can even include enrichment and training foods. And then the fourth thing that I do, and arguably my favorite, is our records, just to make sure that they're up to date, but also like making sure our diets are appropriate for the species and for that individual. Also just our evaluation of our diets, talking to other zoos, reading studies, understanding what are we giving our animals, is that what they need, and do we need to make any changes? So that's one thing that I really enjoy about making diets in particular. They're really personal to that animal. Like that animal can count on that diet every single day. And so getting to do that every day is such a privilege, you know, especially for all the animals here. I really appreciate that personally. So.
So where do we go from here is a question I'm asked a lot, because we've done so much. How can we keep growing? We're only so big. What can we do? But I'm going to tell you, we have so much more to come. We've got so many plans in the works for the next 10, 15, 20 years when it comes to just capital improvements and projects that we want to do. If we just want to keep upgrading, getting rid of the chain link, we want to go to more natural habitats like we've done across the zoo. We've talked about a rainforest coming up in the future. You're going to see us just building more and more on our community engagement and getting people connected to the zoo and making sure that we're a zoo for everybody, building on just our regional appeal, how people perceive us within the region, not just within our local community. We want to keep this momentum going. We're seeing what these changes have done. When we go from 180,000 visitors just 8 years ago to 360,000 visitors last year, look what's just happened in this short amount of time. Imagine if we can just keep doing what we're doing and keep expanding and keep building projects and keep just building on the programs that we're doing when it comes to education, our visitor experience. There's no reason why this area, this zoo in South Bend, Indiana, can't just be known as kind of the top amenity in this region, and this is a destination that people want to go to. What is it about this little zoo? I think the growth that we've had over the years is just remarkable. When I think about how excited our community is to be stopped at the grocery store and thanked for all the great work that we're doing at the zoo and thanking us for bringing this to our community, it's just, I think we all share in that as a staff at our zoo. I think I get a little emotional about it because I just love what we're doing. We're really doing not something just for our community, but for our region, what we're doing for conservation. It's just something that we're all so proud of, and I can't wait for what's to come.